Today on the Trent Out Loud show. Ayo, Offset, now you want to admit that you messed up with Cardi B? Bro, you're about 7 years too late. My girl's moved on with Stefan Diggs. Ain't no coming back from Stefan, bruh. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a public service announcement from Willow Smith. She has a very important question. She wants to know, who ate all the pussy? Yes, she really wants to know, and she really asked that. What up? It's Trent Out Loud, and I'm back with another episode. All right, depending on what time zone you're in, it's Thursday night, but for some of y'all, it's Friday! Yeah, let me bring this closer to the mic. Yeah, we made it, y'all. Bam, 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 bam. I'm so excited. I'm very, very excited. Y'all know I have a big weekend planned. I'm going to LA. I'm going to have so much fun this weekend. I cannot wait. Well, there's work and fun. You know, we work and play, right? Anyways, let me get on here. I have a good show set up for you guys today. I have 3 lead stories. We're going to kick it off by talking about the officer who hit William McNeil, and he hit William McNeil for no reason, and he will not face any charges. Offset finally comes clean and admits he messed up with Cardi B, and Wendy Williams' rights has been violated. Claims of her dementia are fake. In quick news, we're going to talk Tory Lanez, Jussie Smollett, TeaOnHer app, Stacey Dash, Willow Smith, and Cardi B. As always, we're going to close out this show with social discussion and question of the day. Y'all know what time it is. Turn your TVs, your radio, your devices up. I'm about to start this Friday show, Thursday night Friday show. Let's go. Our first lead story. Deputy who was caught striking a Florida man during a traffic stop will not be charged. Prosecutors call it tactical. Jacksonville is back in the headlines and folks are heated. Prosecutors just announced that they are letting the sheriff's deputy off the hook after he was caught on camera striking a driver during a traffic stop. No charges, nothing. If you recall, back in February 19th, around 4:15 p.m., 22-year-old William McNeil Jr. was pulled over for supposedly driving without headlights because of bad weather and not wearing a seatbelt. McNeil wasn't having it. He kept questioning the cops and refused to step out the car. Body cam and cell phone footage showed deputies punching, and you can hear McNeil telling them that he was scared. The state attorney's office is calling what looks like a punch to the face a one-time open-handed strike and claims it was tactical to get him out the SUV and show his hands. All right, we told you guys about this a couple of weeks ago when it first hit and the video leaked. Attorney Benjamin Crump got a hold of this and, of course, made it a national story. I'm going to play the video for you guys in a second, but it's actually getting to the point of being ridiculous now where you could just be literally just sitting in your car, speaking to officers. They could break the window, punch you in the face, and there's absolutely no charges. It's ridiculous. Imagine just if there was no video. I mean, the guy wouldn't stand a chance, but you have clear, clean video from his cell phone, and you have body cam from the officers, and you're like, this is cool. It's no problem. Anyways, if you guys don't remember, here is the video. Take a look.
Can you call your supervisor?
All right, go for it.
Exit the vehicle now. Exit the vehicle. Show me your hands.
Here.
Step out now.
All right.
Okay, my favorite part of the video is that the officer punches him and it actually does nothing at all to him. Soft cops. Anyways, look, they did a press conference, I think, a couple of weeks, and McNeil was actually a little bit in tears. And my fear is that he's not maybe 100%, his mental health is not 100% after this. You know, when something like this happens to somebody, you never know how they're going to take it being on the national stage and have all of this attention. So my heart goes out to him for that. And I'm sure that, hearing that there is no charges from the officers are probably even harder to deal with. The fact that you went through all of this for the past 2 months on this whole national stage interviews and have all the spotlight, and it's all for nothing. The silver lining, though, is that I know attorney Benjamin Crump real well. I've actually spoke with his offices on 2 separate occasions for something that I was dealing with. And I know he is a good dude, and they are still going to pursue civil charges, right? So there's no criminal charges. That will have to be the police. And of course, the police, not very often want to charge other police officers, but that doesn't mean that they cannot award McNeil in a civil suit. And you know how Benjamin Crump is, right? So I predict that he'll at least get a couple of $1 million for this. And again, like I said, is it worth every single thing that he has gone through? I don't know. That will be up to him and his family to decide. But it is not over, and we still might see a win on the civil suit. So shout out to Ben Crump. Do not give up. Our second lead story. I messed up. Offset opens up about Cardi B drama. All right, listen, I have been doing this podcast for years. I've been doing this show for years. And y'all know that I drag Offset every single chance I can get because he continuously, repeatedly messes up and just does horrible things to Cardi B. I was shocked when I heard what the video that I'm about to play for you right now. Offset is admitting that he messed up finally? Like, hold on. Yo, this is out of control. Watch the video.
FaceTime Offset just out of the blue and be like, excuse my language, everybody. Yo, you f***ing up, bro. Yeah. What are you doing?
Yeah.
And you've acknowledged that to me.
Yeah, I f***ed up. Know what I mean? Just being real shit. I f***ed up. We had them talks, man. You called me. Out of all people, you called me.
Offset is owning up to his part of the drama with his estranged wife, Cardi B. In a recent interview with Ebro, the rapper reflects on the tension between him and Cardi B, saying, I effed up. I got to acknowledge that, and then got back on the journey. I've accepted the actions I've done to cause certain situations to happen. The couple, who is currently going through a divorce, has previously gone back and forth online amid accusations of infidelity, threats, and some other stuff. All right. Wow. Now, I gave him his props, fine, but let me just preface that with a couple of things. All right. We have seen reports, and I have told you guys a couple of times, that Cardi and Stefan Diggs, her new alleged man, are on on shaky terms, right? I've showed you guys videos where Stefan was with some other girls and maybe Cardi B's leaving him or whatever. So the thing that kind of makes me have a little bit of doubt in this is maybe right now Cardi is single or on the outs with Stefan Diggs. And maybe now that's why Offset is like, yeah, I messed up. I got to take responsibility, because although that I did applaud him for this, now that I think about this, he has admitted to messing up one time before. You remember when he used to follow Cardi B to all of her shows and show up there with flowers and be like, I'm sorry. So I take back my horns. Like, if I could reverse that, because he has apologized before, and it's when he knows that he could get her back. So I digress. He's done this one time before. I hope he's actually doing this for his own self, for his own, well-being, and admitting up and fessing up and doing the healing to himself. And it's not just to get Cardi back, because he has to work on himself first before he can get back into a relationship with Cardi, if he ever does get back, or else there's going to be a never-ending circle, right? Like, we all know that the work has to be done on ourselves first. So anyways, we shall see. You guys let me know. Do you think this is just a ploy because he knows that, she's maybe single right now, or her and Stefan Diggs are kind of like on a break or whatever, and he feels like he could get back in there because he has done this before? Or is this Offset really actually finally growing up? And I also have another theory. He does have an album coming out. He knows this is going to go viral, so he could just be saying this to promote his album. We have seen people do that in the past, and then as soon as the album cycle is done, they go back to their, horrible ways. I don't know. With Offset, I never know what to think. Our third lead story. Wendy Williams' lawyer disputes dementia and aphasia claims, says the information reported is a violation of Wendy's rights. All right, remember when I told you guys about this yesterday? I'll read the headline that I read yesterday. It said, Playerz up, Wendy Williams will reportedly stay in guardianship following a recent medical exam that re-diagnosed her with dementia. And when I was reading that to you guys, I was like, yo, something doesn't seem right, man. I know the people on her team, Joe Tacopina, Jason Lee from Hollywood Unlocked, Charlemagne from The Breakfast Club, and Harvey from TMZ. And I'm like, yo, it seems weird that all of them are quiet, all of them are dark. Even when Lauren LaRosa was reporting on it, Charlemagne wasn't saying anything. And I was like, something is weird. I was right again. Listen to this. Wendy's attorney, Joe Tacopina, is clapping back against leaked reports that People magazine alleged that the former talk show host has been diagnosed with dementia. As per TMZ, Tacopina called the alleged medical diagnosis false and accused those of spreading it of having a vested interest in keeping Williams under what he describes as an excessive and restrictive guardianship. He also condemned the leak as a violation of Wendy's rights, demanding to see the actual medical reports and challenging any doctor making such a claim to testify under oath. The critical questions are, where are the actual medical records supporting this leak? And who is the doctor willing to go under oath and face cross-examination by me so the truth can be exposed? I told you guys there was no way that this could have been possible. I believe in Joe, man. So, look, I haven't heard back to find out all the details because People magazine is a reputable source, right? It's not like somebody like on a YouTube channel that said it. It's People magazine. So there's got to be something there, right? There could be truth on both sides. There may have been some sort of medical records or some sort of test or something that People has. But if Joe is willing to be like, yo, I want to see the records. I want to know who the doctor is. And he doubled down. I was like, I want them to testify under oath and they have to go under cross-examination by me. And you do not want to play with Joe, all right? He's one of the best and biggest lawyers in the US. So this gives me hope. I'm so happy I did not give up hope yesterday. But again, like I said, I feel like there's truth on both sides. We'll work this out. At the end of the day, if you ask me, they should try to find somebody, or the courts to try to appoint their own doctor and get their own evaluation, because obviously Joe is going to get somebody to evaluate her on his side. And of course, the guardianship is going to get somebody to diagnose her on the other side. My wish is we get a fair judge, a fair court system, and we get an independent doctor to give the evaluation, and we can bring an end to all of this. At the end of the day, it's still free Wendy regardless, but we still do not have closure to this. I'll let you guys know what else I find out. All right, this brings us to quick news. Ring my bell. Our first quick story. Tory Lanez petition to submit new evidence in the Megan Thee Stallion case has been denied. All right, I know I told you guys about this yesterday, but I have a little bit more details that I want to tell you about today. Plus, I also told you yesterday, I will be in LA. I will be in the court, just like I was with Diddy, giving you guys live coverage for this. We're going to do a live probably on Sunday to give you guys a breakdown and remind you guys of everything that's going on. And then, of course, I'll do a morning live before court and then one after. But like I said, I have a couple more details I want to share with you guys. According to the Los Angeles Times, Tory's team presented two petitions to bring forth new evidence in the Megan Thee Stallion's case. One centered around his own driver not testifying, which we told you yesterday, while the other was intended to present a new statement from Kelsey Harris's security guard, Brandon Jennings. Both were denied. Here's a little bit more detail. Back in May, Tory's team claimed that Jennings came to them with new alleged information. He claimed that he overheard Kelsey, who is Megan Thee Stallion's best friend, that she was the one that had the GUN and she fired it 3 times. Tory grabbed her arm and knocked it down, and then the GUN fired 2 more times. Tory's attorneys state that at the time that the alleged information meant that Tory was not the one that pow-powed anybody. Megan's team then responded and said Tory Lanez was tried and convicted by a jury of his peers, and his case was properly adjudicated throughout the court system. This is not a political matter. This is a case of violence, and it has been resolved in the court of law. So, again, we're going to really dive into this when we are down there. But Tory made a mistake not putting his driver on, and the courts are just not letting him do that now because he could have before. But the bodyguard saying that he overheard Kelsey saying this and not having it allowed into evidence is a major, major loss for Tory. That's why some people say that, he really doesn't stand a chance of getting out. But what I've heard from a source, a little birdie told me that the main arguments are what really is going to be the foundation to try to get him out. And these two other things that have been denied, that was just like extra icing on the cake. That's one of the reasons why I'm going down there. So we do know that for Tory, unfortunately, these two applications got denied, but apparently the main application, the main grounds for appeal, we don't know yet. And apparently Tory's lawyers have secret weapons in their back that we'll find out on Monday. All right. So make sure you guys stay tuned on the YouTube channel for the live. We'll break down everything. Tory Lanez could be let out of jail Monday, 11 or 12 o'clock. I'll be right in LA covering it live. Our second quick story. Jussie Smollett finally speaks out about that 2019 staged scandal. All right, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? Jussie Smollett, remember when they were accusing him of his two trainers kind of like, putting hands on him in Chicago, and it was supposed to be like, a Trump-backed kind of attack. And obviously it comes out where, people thought it was fake. He has never addressed it. And now for the first time he is. I don't know if this is on video. I tried to search and I haven't been able to find anything. If anybody has any video of this, please send it to me. But apparently this is a statement that he has made for the first time in 6 years. He said, I can't sit and tell you exactly beat by beat what happened. I can only tell you what did not happen. And what did not happen is a story that's being put out there for almost 7 years, that somehow I would have had a reason to do something as egregious as this. After 7 years, that's all you have to say? Like, I can't tell you exactly what happened or what happened, but I could tell you is the story that's out there. Yeah, the stories that the courts told us. Yeah, that's not what happened. Well, tell us what happened or don't say anything at all. I'm not a fan of Jussie Smollett. Our third quick story. Alcohol consumption in the US has dropped 54%, the lowest since Gallup began tracking in 1939. According to a recent Gallup poll, alcohol consumption in the U.S. has indeed dropped to 54%, making it the lowest since Gallup began tracking in 1939. I don't know why they always write the same thing that was in the title. I just repeated the exact same thing I said. Anyways, this decline coincides with a growing awareness among Americans that even moderate drinking can be harmful, according to the survey. Okay, I like how they're trying to spin this as something good where it's like, oh, people want to be healthy and people want to be moderate. No, it's because teenagers and people in their 20s are drinking less and they're doing something else more. That Bob Marley, all right? That's what the newer generation is doing. And I'm not saying it's bad or worse. And actually, my doctor even told me that Bob Marley is actually better for you than alcohol. But don't get it twisted in acting like, college kids or, younger kids or young adults or whatever are like, oh, I'm just leading this clean lifestyle. No, they're putting down the alcohol and they're picking up something else. All right. And that's the reason why it's starting to be legalized even a lot more now. So anyways, I don't know. I think they're just trying to spin it to make it seem as if things are different. It's not. Our fourth quick story. TeaOnHer, the men version of the T app that's used to discuss and expose women, reportedly suffered a similar data breach. Users' personal information, ID, and selfies were leaked. All right, if you guys remember, I think it's maybe around a week or 2 weeks ago now, we told you guys about this. There's a female app that only women can go on, and they find out about men. And then as soon as that became the number one downloaded app, hackers, aka men, were like, yo, we're going to expose all of you guys, and exposed everyone's ID. It didn't really hurt the app. I think it's still the number two downloaded app in the App Store. But I think it was like 13 or 14,000 women's IDs and all that stuff were exposed. And then this other app came out, TeaOnHer, that's a man's app that could find out about women. Now the same fate has happened, aka women hackers were like, oh, you want to hack us and expose us? No problem. We'll expose you too. So again, like I said, I feel like these apps are ridiculous. Like I don't know why people are so upset. Again, a hit dog will holla. If you are upset that you're on these apps, it's because you have something to hide. Please put me on the apps and find out about the amazingness that I am, because ain't nobody can say nothing bad about me. And if you live a clean life, can't nobody say nothing bad about you. So who cares? Put me all over these apps, please, and send me my my A+ reviews. Thank you very much. Our fifth quick story. Stacey Dash says she's really frustrated with the Catholic faith after moving back to Los Angeles. Here is Stacey Dash. Take a listen.
Okay, so I'm doing this right now because I'm so frustrated. I just moved back to LA from the East Coast, and I'm really frustrated with the Catholic faith here. I really am. I've never had so much trouble getting in touch with a priest. It's absolutely absurd. And, you know, I know we are in need of priests, and our faith, the Catholic faith, is struggling right now. So I'm really curious as to why the people working in parish offices and the priests themselves are not readily available for their parishioners.
All right, truth be told, I don't really know what's going on here, and neither do the blogs, because the captions are just like, yo, Stacey Dash is mad at the Catholic churches. Stacey Dash is an old friend of mine. Love her to death, and she's absolutely gorgeous. So I'm backing up anything that she has to say. Yo, shout out to Stacey. Shout out to the priest in LA. Yo, somebody open up some church or some I don't know, some time for her, and let Queen Stacey Dash into your church, so we can get her off these blogs and stop getting upset. And now I know some of you are not big Stacey Dash fans because she was on Fox News and she had said some things or whatever. And yes, Stacey could be a little bit volatile at times, but if y'all remember back in the day, Stacey Dash, Dame Dash cousin, she was that girl at one point. So I just remember that Stacey Dash, shout out to Stacey. Priests, let Stacey in. Our sixth quick story. Willow Smith with a question for everyone. Willow's question is, well, actually, hold on. Before I tell you the question, for those of you who are not seeing the video, there's a picture of Will Smith's daughter, Willow Smith. Yes, whip my hair back and forth. I whip my hair back and forth. Remember young Willow? Well, she posted a picture of herself, very close up, and she's in tears. She's crying, and it's just a headshot. And she said, who ate all the P word? A female's P word. I feel like she's trolling us because obviously the tears, I don't think she's really crying over that, but I don't know if she's trolling us. I don't know what's really going on. You know what I mean? Like, people in the comment section are like, yo, this whole Smith family needs therapy. Anyways, I don't know, man. She's trolling us, or maybe she broke up with her girlfriend, or maybe she's having a hard time finding a girlfriend. I don't know. It just seems as if I don't know. Yeah, maybe she's just going through it right now. She's either going through it or she's trolling us, but who knows? Yo, Willow, I'll be out in LA this weekend. I don't know, man. I'll try to find some girls for you or something. I don't know. Holla at me. Our seventh quick story. Cardi B drops teaser for Imaginary Playerz music video. All right, obviously I cannot play the music for you for copyright reasons, but I'll play you a little clip of the actual video. And at the beginning of the week when I told you guys about this, I wasn't super excited. I was like, okay. And by the way, for those who don't know, this is a Jay-Z sampled and Jay-Z approved song. And yeah, like I said, I was not super excited. I was like, oh, what's the big deal? But I feel like I'm a little excited now. Take a listen to the video. Cardi B makes a splash ahead of her sophomore album. The rapper just dropped a teaser for visuals of her upcoming single, Imaginary Playerz, releasing at midnight. The track samples a Jay-Z 1997 song, Imaginary Player, from his Lifetime Volume 1, which pulls from the original tune, Renee and Angela, Imaginary Playmates. Are you guys excited about the new Cardi B era? Like I said, that's what I like about rollouts. Like, I feel like I'm starting to get excited. I guess I won't talk to you guys tomorrow about it. I'll talk to you guys on Monday about it, or maybe live from LA. Let me know what you guys are excited about. Cardi B. All right, this brings us to social discussion of the day. All right, before we get into social discussion, y'all know I have a very important question for you. Is your computer, laptop, or cell phone vulnerable to data breaches? Yes, they are. If you are not using Aura, the all-in-one digital security platform, go to my sponsor below, aura.com/trendoutloud to get a free 14-day trial to see if any of your data has already been exposed. If you're ever wondering how scammers get your cell phone number or why your inbox is filled with spam, here is why. There are companies called data brokers that sell your data, and they do it without your consent, and they make billions of dollars selling it to marketers, scammers, and even stalkers. That's why I recommend today's sponsor, Aura, to my family, friends, and outlouders. Aura takes care of the hard part, automatically removing your information off of sites and keeping it off. Aura gives you alerts if any of your personal information is found on the dark web, real-time fraud alerts for credit card or banking information. You get a secure VPN, antivirus, password manager, and they have 24/7 round-the-clock customer service. And they also offer a $5 million identity insurance protection package. If any of your information leaks, you get money back, all right? Go to my link below. I'll also put up the QR code right beside me. If you've ever wondered if your social security number or any of your information has leaked, Aura could find that out for you and remove it off of the dark web for free. Do not miss out. Click the link below or use the QR code. Okay, today's social discussion is Jessica Dime gets emotional over fears she may have influenced young girls to become dancers. Okay, let's just jump to the video. Take a listen.
Everything I do, I try to do it with the thought of people are watching. Like girls look at me. Like when I had my show, a couple of the girls told me, they was like, I've been watching you since I was a kid. So I was like, dang, since you was a kid? I mean, I influenced you did I influence you to be a stripper? Because I never wanted it to be it, you know?
Jessica Dime got emotional as she reflects on how her journey as a dancer and her decision to get plastic surgery may have influenced young girls to follow the same path. She explains that while it was her personal journey, she would never want to encourage anybody to go down that road. Okay, I'll just go to the comment section a little bit. Everyone can change. Good for her. But no matter what was on TV, it's the parents' responsibility to censor what their kids are doing. Somebody says she's too darn old to be doing this. Another person says, stop judging yourself. You're not God. Embrace your future. Leave your past in the past. You're beautiful in and out. Another person said, she's gorgeous to me. Let's please normalize holding systems of misogyny just as accountable as the woman stuck in them. She was a young lady too, and this comment section is not it. This is not funny. This is actually sad, and you could see she didn't want nobody to be like that. Thank you, Jessica Dime, for having the remorse and even the thought of possibly influencing somebody younger. It wasn't you, babe. It was called having a heart. Okay, so then you get two different perspectives. I am of the school of thought that influence negatively should not be blamed on TV, magazines, music, etc., etc. Positive influence can be, because we should want positive influence around us. So what does that mean? It means that parents, uncles, aunts, godparents, adults, teachers, preachers around young people should be trying to keep away the negative influence or the not positive influence and try to put as much positive influence around our young adults. People are going to do what they do in life. And you've heard me say it a bunch of times. I don't mind people who are dancing. I don't mind women who are on OnlyFans. I don't mind any of those things. It is your body, your life. I will never shame anybody for that. Just, I feel all of that should be normalized. Like, just, you should be able to do whatever you want, whenever you want. As long as it's legal and, you're not doing anything wrong or harming anybody. Okay. Just want to preface that. Now, I agree with the people in the comment that, you should not only, maybe somebody didn't say this in the comment, not only the parents, structuring what is around, because you cannot always control, especially now in 2025 with phones and everything, but it's not only keeping your kids away from things or parental blocks, it's also what you put in your kids' mind from a young age and molding them and scoping them and pushing them to a certain direction where Jessica Dime can influence my daughter or my niece or anybody, son, whatever, to do these things or be that type of person, because I've already filled their mind and have set them on a positive path. So it's just not only about, your parents should turn off the TV. It's the kind of people that you're raising. And I don't think it's fair because an adult person is doing these things. And, I don't believe in this fault of Sexy Red, Sukiana, all of these people, they're poisoning our youth, they're doing this or whatever. Every generation had that. Madonna, the Marilyn Monroe was horrible back in the day. You could keep on going back and back to hundreds of years ago, kings and queens and this and that, whatever. There's always going to be an influence out there. It's about the influence that you have on the person and the guardian and the structure you put around them. That's my opinion, and that's today's social discussion. Y'all let me know what you think. All right, this brings us to question of the day. A profession that gets a lot of hate just for doing their job. All right, I thought this was really good. What's a profession that gets a lot of hate for just doing their job? Walmart receipt checkers. Let's start off right there. I despise people that check my receipt, but it's true. They're just doing their job. But it's like, bro, why? Somebody said being a dad. That's actually really funny. Another person said anybody in healthcare. Do they get a bad rap? A profession that gets a lot of hate. The people in healthcare get hate? Anyways, I don't know. Collection agency employees. Okay, we can understand why they're getting hate, no, but I get, again, they're just doing their job. Fair. That's why I really like this question. Another person said nurses. All right. Cashiers at the drive-thru. The cashiers get hate at the drive-thru? Are y'all mean to cashiers at the drive-thru? Meter maids for sure, because why do you watch me park, then give me a ticket as soon as I walk off? Where is the courtesy? Teachers. The teachers get a lot of hate, ish, I guess. Police, parking enforcement, teachers, bus drivers, facts. Police, ladies of the night, lawyers, TSA. Yeah, but TSA are annoying sometimes. Anyways, I can't say that because I'm going on a flight. They might be watching me and, oh gosh, they're going to pull me over for sure now. Repo drivers. Okay, but that's understandable why they get hate. But again, that's what's great about this question. They're just doing their jobs. What else is in here? Car salesmen. What? Healthcare workers. Apparently everybody based on these comments, nurses, EPA. All right, let me know what you guys think about these answers and give me some other good ones. What is somebody that gets a profession that gets a lot of hate for just doing their job? I must say, this is a very good question of the day. All right, y'all, that is it. It's a wrap. It's Friday! Uh-oh. Let the debauchery begin. Oh yeah, it's gonna be a good weekend, yo. Starting tonight. All right. Before I let you, I'm very happy. All right, before I let you go, want to thank you for a great week. Thank you very much for tuning in. And I just want to remind you guys to sign up for Aura, the link below or the QR code. I'll put it up here. It is free for 14 days. Also, before I let you go, just want to remind you of all the ways to keep up with the Trent Out Loud show. For those of you on YouTube, if you're ever going on a flight or if you're going in a car or somewhere where you don't have access to internet and you're wondering how am I going to watch the show, have no fear because the Trent Out Loud show is available on all podcast platforms, and on podcast platforms, you're able to download the show and take us with you, all right? So there is that way if you ever do not have internet. Now, vice versa, for those of you who are on podcast platforms, thank you so much for all of your downloads and your supports. However, we would love for you to come hang out and watch this show on YouTube. This is the best way to watch the show, if you ask me. And this is where all the Out Louders hang out. The comment section is lit, so come on over here, okay? Head on over to YouTube, type in Trent Out Loud, the show will pop up. 4 things I'm going to need you to do. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Make sure you comment. Even if you don't want to join in on a conversation, let me know where you're watching from, which continent, country, or city. And finally, if you're really enjoying the show, please try to share it with your family, friends, and loved ones because it helps in growing the channel, all right? And I appreciate you. For those of you who want to follow me outside of the show, I'm available on all social platforms. It's always the same handle, Trent Out Loud. I'm the most active on Instagram. And speaking of Instagram, we have a blog page if you want to follow. It is called The Trent Out Loud Show, and there we will post stories throughout the day before and after the show. And we also are able to cover stories that we do not cover on the show. It's like a show after the show or an extended show. And we are active. We are posting now, all right? I got some help, man. Shout out to you know who. All right. I'll see you guys live. I'll see you guys live on Sunday or on Monday. Have a great weekend. Be safe, but have fun. Y'all know me, man. Whatever you do, you gotta enjoy your weekend. Whether it's rest, whether it's partying, whatever it is, enjoy your weekend. I'll see you Sunday or Monday. Peace. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, Trent Out Loud. Peace!